Good morning, everyone. I am so happy that you could join me again. We have a laundry list of odd jobs to tackle today. Let's see. I want to deep clean the parlor, vacuum the staircase, arrange some tulips for the parlor table, and for the music room table, I want to make a rather large flower arrangement. And as a reward for all of this work, we are going to make a vanilla cake. It's a 1-bowl vanilla cake, but per the recipe, it actually requires 2 bowls. I'm going to try to make it in just 1 bowl. So my oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. And then I need a 9-inch square baking dish. I'm going to lightly grease this. And I have a cutout piece of parchment for anti-stick insurance. I'm going to let my stand mixer do all of the heavy lifting for this cake. Yeah, I always think that we should have a sweet reward for tackling housework. I seem to be fighting with the electric cord. I need 2/3 cup or 160 mils of whole milk. And this milk is at room temperature. 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using avocado oil. 1, 2, 3. 2 large eggs at room temperature. And 1½ teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And then we whisk all of these ingredients. Cold eggs don't combine into cake batters very well. That's why most cakes require room temperature eggs. And then I need 1¼ cups of all-purpose flour. That's 180 grams, and I'm going to weigh out my flour. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Cornstarch reduces gluten formation in all-purpose flour. So this cake will have a certain light texture as opposed to a chewy bread-like texture. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Zero out my scale, and then I need 170 grams of regular granulated sugar. That's 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. Much easier to just weigh out the sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We will add some softened butter to this as well after we start beating the batter. Spoiler alert. This cake turned out rather flat, but that's all my fault. Nevertheless, in the end, I turned the cake into a decadent work of art. Please stay tuned. Scrape down the bowl. Then I want to add 1/4 cup or 60 grams of soft butter. And we simply need to mix this until the butter is incorporated. And into the prepared pan, the batter goes. That's my oven telling me that it has achieved the correct temperature. My butter did not thoroughly incorporate into the batter, but I think the batter will be okay. This goes into the oven until the cake puffs and it's springy to the touch. That will take 20 to 25 minutes. While the cake is baking, I'm going to clean up my mess here, and then we can get started on the parlor. The parlor is one of my favorite rooms in this early 19th century house. In winter, My spouse and I enjoy reading books here in front of a roaring fire. When I clean the parlor, I try to clean it with Zen-like mindfulness. I start at the top of the room and then work my way down. A microfiber dust mop with a long extendable handle is ideal for eliminating dust from the tall ceiling and walls. The window hangings are easy enough to clean with a powerful handheld vacuum. This vacuum is called a fur buster because it lifts away pet hair almost effortlessly. I use the same vacuum on my carpeted staircase. These glass cleaner wipes are my best tool for polishing the parlor's ancient mirrors and crystal chandelier. I can link the wipes and all of the other cleaning supplies I'm using in the description box below if you are interested. There are at least 100 crystal prisms on this chandelier. The prisms are not difficult to clean, but they do require a calm hand and a positive attitude. The stone fireplace surround comes clean with only a microfiber cloth that is dampened with water. Cleaning this way allows me to appreciate all of the mantle's myriad decorative details. The fireplace was the only source of heat in this room during the 19th century. I burn a fire here almost every evening during the cold winter months. My timer just went off. We need to check on the cake. Here is our cake. Now the top has some little pockets in it from where the butter had not fully incorporated into the batter. That was my fault, but I don't mind because we are going to cover this cake with a gorgeous chocolate frosting. First, we need to let the cake cool, and while we wait for that to happen, let's go back to the parlor. Back in the parlor now, I'm tackling the various tables. I first dust the tabletops and legs with a dry microfiber cloth. Then I apply a very thin layer of walrus oil. Walrus oil is the same product I use on all of my cutting boards. It's food safe. We had friends over for drinks and nibbles yesterday evening, so my home bar is rather cluttered. The bar is actually a marble-top table that was widely produced during the late 19th century. I will clean the marble with an all-purpose cleaner. Then I will dust and polish the legs. This is the tilt-top tea table that you and I restored together in a previous video. Today, I need only to dust it and oil it lightly. Even though I brush my ginger cat, Goldie, regularly, he still leaves hair on upholstered furniture. Fortunately, my fur buster will suck up every trace of cat and dog hair in a matter of seconds. As you can see here, my house is not open concept. Every room can be closed off. Private rooms allow flower arrangements and curious kitty cats to live happily together under one roof. To finish this spring cleaning project, I will vacuum and mop the ancient parlor floor. The floor is the same age as the house. It is 199 years old. This next cleaning project can be tackled in just a few minutes. I need to vacuum the staircase and polish the mahogany banister and newel post. Feels great to have that staircase done. I've just washed my hands. I unmolded our cake. And let me tell you, I have made hundreds of cakes for you, and none of them turned out like this. But again, I think it's all my fault. So we are going to frost this later. For now, I think we should run over to the local flower store. I want to buy some tulips for the parlor and make a fairly good-sized arrangement for the music room. We just got home. I went out to the garden to clip some upright yew because I want to use them with my arrangement of tulips. So these are the tulips that we purchased at the farm store. They have a lovely frilled petal. But before we arrange anything, I want to put 3 pennies in this vase. Pennies made prior to 1982 were something like 97% copper. Pennies made after 1982 are like 97% zinc, and then they only have a very thin coating of copper. So in order for pennies to work in flower arranging, you need to have pennies that were made before 1982. I forgot to mention that copper is a natural fungicide. That's why old copper pennies can help to prolong the life of cut flowers. I think this makes a nice little tulip arrangement. Set this over here for now. And then I have the flowers that we bought at Chatham Flower Shop that we need to arrange. And the tulips will be for the parlor. Pennies will work in any flower arrangement if you have the right pennies, but For this arrangement, I'm going to use regular old flower preservative. And here again, we can start with greens. I want to use my revolving cake stand for this arrangement. And here it is. Blue hydrangea. I'm looking for an arrangement that shouts spring, if not summer. We have had such a cold month. Well, February is usually cold for us, but it was particularly cold this year. And we had a lot of ice. Today, the ice is melting finally. And I think that put me in the mood to do the spring cleaning in the parlor and to make a flower arrangement or two. I have to say, this arrangement is really speaking to me. I know nothing about flower arranging other than I know the colors I like and the sculptural effects that I like. And I hope you like this too. And we shall see what it looks like in the music room after I clean up my workstation. And then we have to frost that cake. I think the frosting will be the best part of this cake. So I need a half cup or 113 grams of melted butter, 2/3 cup, sorry, I don't know the weight, of cocoa powder. Give this a whisk. It already looks good, and we're just starting. 3 cups or thereabouts, confectioner's sugar. Approximately 1/3 cup of milk. I'm just going to eyeball this. And a splash of pure vanilla extract. So I am choosing to think of this item here as either a very tall crepe or a very flat cake. But a good frosting can cover a multitude of sins. Lucette just mentioned that she could eat this whole cake herself. And we've frosted it, but why stop at just frosting? I have some colorful sprinkles here. These are sprinkles that you and I bought together at the Mennonite General Store. I will slice this bit of decadence into fingers, meaning small rectangles, and then we can enjoy them with tea in the parlor. I think this chai black tea from Tierra Farm will go very well with this cake. Going to slice up the cake, and then I will meet you in the parlor. I usually have a fire in the parlor, but the temperature reached 54 degrees today, and it just feels too warm to have a fire right now. I may light one tonight. It's been a long day. I will not pretend I'm not tired, but I think this cake just might revive me. Even though I goofed on the cake recipe, it still turned out remarkably well, and I will put a link to that recipe in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me today as we deep cleaned this parlor, which actually took several hours to do, and we vacuumed the stairs, and we polished the banister, and we arranged flowers for this room and also for the music room. And we made what turned out to be a mighty delicious cake. We post a new video every Friday and Sunday, so if you have not yet subscribed, I hope you will do so. And if you have already subscribed, thank you very much. And until the next episode, I hope you will treat yourself very, very well. Take good care, my friends, and I will see you soon.